I've been this attorney. I've tried 24 death penalty cases, which we asked the death penalty.
And how many death verdicts did you get?
23.
You're going to try this personally?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And what was your decision on that, sir? Why did you make that decision?
This is a proper case for the death penalty.
Beg pardon?
This is a proper case for the death penalty. Is that what?
Why did you decide to try this personally yourself?
Well, I generally try the major cases, and I believe this will be classed as a major case.
And he is going to be, I would imagine, yes, it would.
Are you elected or appointed?
I'm elected every 4 years. I'm starting my fifth term. I'm in my first year, my fifth term, serving a 4-year term.
Mr. Wade, do you expect to call Mrs. Kennedy or Governor Connolly, if he's able, in this trial as witnesses?
We will not unless it's absolutely necessary, and at this point I don't think it'll be necessary.
How soon could we expect a trial?
I'd say around the middle of January.
Could I recap a few high points of the things you've said with you, Mr. Wade? First of all, has the investigation, in your opinion, advanced materially today?
I'm not familiar with all of the advancing. It's mostly routine today, interviewing witnesses at the scene, and I don't know everything that's been done, but I think it's progressing satisfactorily.
Now, the pace in the questioning of Oswald seems to have dropped off sharply in comparison to last night. Is there any particular reason for that?
None that I know of.
Now, you've talked to Oswald for about how long?
Practically none, personally.
Have you observed him for a number of hours?
I've seen him a time or two, but I didn't get the interrogation started before I got down here, and I left them with it.
Well, from what you've seen, how do you sum him up as a man, based on your experience with criminal types?
Oh, I think it's a man that planned this murder weeks or months ago and has laid his plans carefully and carried them out, and has planned at that time what he's going to tell the police that are questioning him at present.
Well, in these plans, do you have any inkling as to the why, the reason for it?
No, very little.
It's commonly supposed, because of his affection for Castro's Cuba and communism, that he was led to engineer this plot.
I can't say whether that was it. Apparently, on its face, that contributed quite a bit to it.
You characterize Oswald as superior in intelligence?
I'd say above average.
What about any other personality traits that you can detect in him? Because, as you know, anybody who would attempt something so heinous and complex as this must present an interesting personality to the world.
I'm sure it does, but I know very little about personality, psychology, and the like. I'm not an authority by any means on that.
Has he ever expressed any hatred or ill will to President Kennedy, or for that matter, any regret over his death?
He has expressed no regret that I know of. I don't know about the other.
Now, his wife and his mother and his brother are talking to him, I believe, right now up on the 4th floor. Is there any hope that they might convince him to confess?
I don't know. I understand they want him to.
Have they expressed that wish to the police officials?
That I don't know. His brother indicated that to me, that he thought he ought to tell the truth about it.
Are the two brothers close, do you know?
I doubt it. Robert hasn't seen him since November a year ago. They've been living right here within.
This man, it seems, wasn't close to anybody. Have you discovered any close friends in Dallas?
No, sir.
This in itself suggests a certain type of personality that perhaps is inward, can do without people, can be perhaps dedicated?
Not mixing with other people very much.
It's rumored that perhaps this case would be tried by a military court because, of course, President Kennedy is our commander-in-chief.
I don't know anything about that. We have him charged in the state court, and he's a state prisoner at present.
And you will conduct the trial?
Yes, sir, I plan to.
Full verdict?
We'll ask the death penalty.
How many cases of this type have you been involved in? That is, when the death penalty is involved.
Since I've been district attorney, I've asked the death penalty in 24 cases.
And how many times have you attained it?
23.
District Attorney Henry Wade, who convicted Ruby of murder, and who would have tried Oswald, there are only a few loopholes in the Warren Commission report. Perhaps the biggest, the single or magic bullet theory.
Some would say that to believe the Warren Commission report, you have to believe this magic bullet theory. The fact that the bullet may have gone through Kennedy and then through Connally, then struck him in his arm and then struck him through the thigh. Do you think that magic bullet theory is a correct one?
I doubt whether that's correct, but I have no way of proving otherwise.